All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is Wednesday, October 16th. We got game number 3 of the Mets and the Dodgers series here. This series is split 1-1 right now. Mets take game 2 after Dodgers dominated in game number 1. In today's video, we're going to dive into this game. I'm going to give you my lean on the side. I'll give you my lean on the total. I have a player prop spot that I'm looking at as of right now as well. But as always, guys, keep an eye on the pinned comment of this video to see what we ultimately end up rolling with. In terms of last night, we go 1-1, so it's not going to do anything for us. Nothing that we can be all upset about or nothing to write home about either. We did have a lot of good looks in yesterday's video, but I kind of tempered myself. I had, what was it, Yankees team total over, right? We had Rocchio over in bases. I like the idea of, so we had a lot of plays that we didn't end up rolling with, but like I always tell you guys, baseball betting, actually just sports betting in general, you can never go with the woulda, coulda, shoulda, that approach. But we felt like, I didn't want to put 5 plays into one game yesterday. I mean, it felt like I was forcing it, and the way the game ends up rolling out, kind of wish I did, but nonetheless, a 1-1 night is not going to kill us. Let's see if we can get a little something going tonight in this game. Before we do, guys, I do want to talk to you. Talked about it yesterday as well, but I want to talk to you guys about the other sports books that are out there. If you're on FD or DK, there are other sports books out there, and we have a link in the pinned comment that is going to give you the best sign up offer around there. All you have to do is head over here to that link in the pinned comment, pick your location, and you'll see all of the available sports books as well as all of the deals like this FanDuel. Bet $5, get $300 in bonus bets plus 3 months free of NBA League Pass. Huh? Seems like a no-brainer to me, right? Or Caesars, get your first bet back up to $1,000 as a bonus bet if it loses. Check out that link in the pinned comment. As always, like I tell you guys, got to be 21 plus. If you have a problem, make sure to call 1-800-GAMBLER. But let's go ahead and dive into this game. Right now, Mets sitting at -110. This is essentially a pick'em. I've seen -105 on both sides so far this morning. The total is at 7.5. On the mound for the Mets is going to be Luis Severino going up against Walker Buehler here for the Dodgers. Severino hasn't looked really tremendous so far in the playoffs. He is pitching, 6 innings into the game, but in both of his playoff starts so far, looks like he's let up 3 earned runs, had 7 Ks against the Phillies in his last start with no walk, so that's a little inspiring. His last outing against the Dodgers here, 4 innings pitched, 9 hits, 7 earned runs, so that ain't all that great, right? So there's a little bit of oh boy, hesitation when we look at Severino's numbers, but then you head over to the Dodgers side of things, and Walker Buehler's on the mound, and he's been everything but consistent so far in the postseason and just kind of in general, right? This Dodgers team, in terms of their starting pitching, just not looking all that great. So Walker Buehler in his last start against San Diego, 7 hits allowed through 5 innings, 6 earned runs, 0, yes, that is 0 strikeouts, and a walk there. So I don't think the pitching, at least from a starting perspective, is going to be the decider today. I think this is going to come down to the offense of either team or both teams, as well as the bullpen, and this bullpen for the Dodgers has been looking good. Now, obviously, the Mets kind of take charge, and weirdly enough, they score early runs. They scored 6 runs in the first 2 innings in game number 2, and then they score 1 in the top of the 9th, right? So the bullpen still kind of did its job for the Dodgers, which it has been doing, which is great, and I think that is going to be the decider here. Like I said in the Yankees series with the Guardians, I do think that there's a clear-cut better team, and to me, in my dumb sports betting brain, I'm thinking if you just keep betting the better team, you should hopefully win some money on the series, right? So I am going to lean Dodgers money line in this spot. Again, I don't necessarily think this is a play that backs Walker Buehler, but I like the Dodgers offense in a bounce back spot, and I do think that they have a really good bullpen. Now, the Mets bullpen and their late game heroics have been good too, so we're at a time in which there's 4 teams left, so no need to comment, oh my god, you're hating on the Mets, or no one is doubting any team out here. It's more or less you gotta pick one of the better ones, and I do think that the Dodgers are the better ones here. So because of the offense, because of the bullpen, I'm leaning towards the Dodgers in this spot on the money line. Now, from a total perspective, this is I don't know, it's a weird one to me because so far in this series, and honestly, kind of in both of these teams' series so far, the Dodgers against the Padres, the Mets against the Phillies, it's always been, I think we only had one close game. It was that awesome game 2 or 3, Mets-Phillies, but overall, we've seen a lot of one-sided affairs, right? Either the Mets are going off, or I guess in that case, either the Phillies were going off, or the Dodgers, or the Padres. I have a feeling here that we finally, because of the pitching that's starting, we finally have a close game. So yes, I lean towards the over, but I'm almost tempted to look at a spot in which I say both teams to score 3 runs right now, plus 100 over on DraftKings. So I'm not sure if FanDuel has that or anything like that. I know it's on DraftKings. So both teams 3+ runs, meaning over 2.5 for both team totals at plus 100. I like the idea of that. I also don't mind, I guess, picking or choosing, or hell, both teams, their normal team total over 3.5. But if I were to rank that, it would probably be over 7.5, both teams to score 3+, or those could be interchangeable, and then kind of taking both team totals. The only thought process with both team totals is that, yes, if they score a bunch of runs each, you cash both, but at least, if it's going to be a lopsided affair, then we still can kind of mitigate our losses, right? If the Mets score 4 runs and the Dodgers score 1, that's an under game, but we took Mets team total over and Dodgers team total over. At least the Mets eat into the losses of the Dodgers, so we'll play around with it. Very important to keep an eye on the pinned comment to see what we're rolling with, because obviously we got some craziness going on here, but I just think that this is going to be, I guess, finally a game in which both teams are in it, which we've seen very rarely of either one of these teams in the few series that we've seen so far. You know what I mean? So give me the over, but again, I think that this is going to be more of a back and forth game, which kind of helps the idea of, I do think the Dodgers have the better bats, maybe not late in the game. Okay, Mets fans, I get it, but I do think that they have the bullpen advantage. The way that they are operating that bullpen is something else right now. So hopefully that can keep going, at least for our side of things. Now, in terms of a player prop, we do have one player prop to look at here. We're going to jump into the outlier screen. Before we do, guys, if you do not know what outlier is, my favorite player prop research tool, Tassos loves it, Trey loves it. We use this tool all the time on the channel to find educated and data-driven sports bets. You're going to see exactly how we work it, but I have a link in the pinned comment for 7 days free. But let's go ahead and dive into it. Freddie Freeman. Yeah, terrifying to take an under for him, but I like his under 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs due to the fact that he is still nursing that ankle injury. So if he gets on base, there's no guarantee that he's going to run the bases and score, that type of thing, right? I think he's going to need a multi-hit game to cash this with ease. Now, can he have the RBIs? Sure, I totally get it. I liked his under in bases, but it's at minus 190, so it's like, okay, well, now we're not looking at that, right? But under 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs, 6 of his last 10 games he has hit here. If we look at sort of some of the things that might scare us, like I mentioned, he hits right-handed pitchers really well. Severino struggles against left-handed batters, but 3-0 so far in terms, or 0 for 3 so far against Severino. The fastball, his WOBA is up there, but then his next 2 pitches, the sinker and the slider, his WOBA does drop. So I could see Freeman having some trouble here, but like I said, this is really driven by the idea that, well, I think he can get a hit. I hope he doesn't get 2 hits, because then we're out of luck there. But I think we're almost like minusing one of the spots here, the runs. Now, his runs line at minus 0.5 is also something I considered, but I'm going to have to think about this all day. Minus 157. We've been taking some orange juice here, some juice on our plays throughout the MLB season. And in fact, I think that minus 157 actually looks pretty valuable here. So maybe that's something that we look for as well. But overall, I am kind of targeting the injury. I don't think that I would take this if he wasn't banged up. So I guess that's worth mentioning. But Freddie Freeman, under 0.5 runs or his under 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. This season, he kind of crushed it. Like I said, on the road, crush it. Against righties, crush it. So, yeah, we don't have the data to back this other than that injury and the fact that he hasn't been doing it in his last 10 games. The more recent games we look at, the better this plays looks. But guys, that's going to wrap it up for today's show. You know what? If you made it this far in the video, go ahead and comment 9. You guys have been super supportive, and I know I sound like a broken record. In fact, we've gotten a couple comments of being like, enough thanking the audience. Like, guys, I will say thank you as much as I can, because me, unlike I guess some other people out here, don't expect to be in this position. I wake up every day not taking it for granted. I love the fact that I can be a dummy, come over here, turn my camera on, turn my lights on, get the microphone going, and make a video for you guys to see. Like, that fires me up. Hopefully it fires you guys up. Hopefully you feel that sort of energy. But I'll say thank you all the time if I want to, because I truly am thankful. But I don't want to rant here. I don't want to go too long. But I will catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out.